Hey, what's up guys? Christian over at Fit Car Stereo. Today we're in a 2023 Ford Bronco. So about a month back, Tom walks in here and I look at him and say, hey, what's the matter? You missing a subwoofer? And he just stared at me like, how do you know what I'm talking about? So there's been rumors going around all over the chat groups on Facebook for professionals about this Bronco with the missing subwoofer. So what happens is that because of the chip shortage, they didn't have subs or amps, so they gave you a fake sub and amp. What? Exactly. So if you look at your Bronco, it's going to say over here under the price, negative $250 at the window sticker. I'll take a picture of that and post it later. If it says negative $250 right next to where it says AM FM 6 speakers S-Stars, that means that this back here is fake. So on Tom's car, we figured out how to get a aftermarket sub and amp to work with the factory wiring, factory power, factory speakers while reprogramming the radio. So Angelo called me up saw the other video. So now we're in Angelo's car and we're going to film the whole thing. Sit tight and we'll show you how it's done. Alright guys, so first step is taking this piece out. I'm not 100% sure if you have to take this out, but I'm going to be fully honest with you. When Tom came with his Bronco, he already had it apart, so now Angelo, you are my first. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop these off. Now when you pop these off, I popped this up before, you're going to pop it up like that, stick the panel tool, you can do this with your finger, but if you stick the panel tool under, it kind of holds it up, and then you can pull up and pull forward. So these have little hinges, baby little hinges that are easy to break over here, so you want to be very, very careful you don't because you don't pull up here. I'm pretty sure it'll probably hold somehow, but do it the right way. All right, so there goes that. We'll do the same thing on this side. All right, oopsie. You don't need the tools, but if you have them, use them. All right, so boom. Same thing on the other side. Oops. Like I said, this can be done without the tools. The tools gives you a little bit of help if you have them, use them. Oh, this is a PPT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panel tool set, sold in a set of 5. We sell them. These are very gentle plastic for your interior. For this car, you're probably gonna beat it up anyway, so even the cheap ones from the store will do. But if you're gonna order something from us, might as well get the tools too. They're a nice set. Trust me, I put our name on them because they're so nice. All right, so that goes there. So now that you got that done, I'm gonna leave these 4 right here for now. I'm not gonna compare. They're the same thing. All right. Now 10mm. Now this has 10mm bolts. I'm gonna use a power tool to get them out. Now, do not, if you're gonna, when you put them back in, be very careful because if you can cross thread it and then now you're in trouble. That's how a 10-minute job turns into a 10-hour nightmare. It should not matter. I'm looking at both of these bolts. They all look exactly the same, but when I take things apart, I like to keep things together because sometimes some bolts are shorter, longer, whatever. And looks like my cheap, actually, you know, I'm not going to complain about it because I've had this for like 5 years. So the little magnet fell out. Which means today this gets retired. They're cheap. The problem with me is that if you do this for a living, you end up losing them before it's worth buying. Yeah, great that it'll last forever. But what's the point of paying 4 times the price when you're going to lose them? All right, let me go get something to put everything away in and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm going to put them in a little shoebox holder. For you guys that have been into the shop, these look familiar. So just because you got to keep track of things, if you look back here, these little things in the back have X's. On the front they have the triangle. The triangle goes towards the middle of the car. So in the back the triangle goes forward. And over here the triangle goes towards the rear of the car. All I'm gonna keep all the screws together because why not? And put this aside together so there's no confusion. Like I said, all these screws are exactly alike, but you don't want to be the guy that finds out that they throw off the balance of the car. I'm kidding, obviously, I'm exaggerating. All right, let's get this out of here and let's get this piece out of here. All right, so we're gonna go up here. This comes right out. Now, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure if this needs to come out. I did try already to get this out, and I was able to get this out. I know this comes out if you pop it from the back. Okay, you could use tools for this if you want. I've been doing this long enough where my fingers are like rocks. So basically just pop, 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 pop. All right. All right, now pretty sure this is aftermarket or factory with a little safe back here. Now we have this to take up. So the problem here is that when we take this off, this right here, oh, let me move the camera angle. All right, guys, so next step is pop this thing up. Now, because I'm not a Bronco guy, don't forget I'm a shop and this is a customer's car. I'm pretty sure this is an aftermarket cover. I know the customer is active on YouTube, so if you got any questions about anything on this truck that you happen to see, you know, ask. I think he might answer. All right, so that comes off. I'm just taking it off because I don't want to confuse anyone thinking it's different. Just make sure we're both looking at the same thing. This one, this looks nice. I would get this. Looks like it protects it very nicely. Check the description. Maybe I'll ask him what it is and I'll link it down below like everyone else does. All right, so this piece over here just pops right up. I'm gonna grab panel tool and pop it from the back. I'll be right back. Alright, so let me see, can you guys see in there? Making sure you're with me. Let's see how that works. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the PPT3, see if that does anything with these. Nope, I need the metal one. Or can we do this by hand? Alright, you put your hand down here and pull up. Oh, don't bother with a crazy tool. It pops right up. It's not hard. All you gotta do is stick your hand. Oh, you can't see. Alright, let's do that again. It's in. Look, it's in. All you gotta do is stick your hand right here. Alright, and pull. Comes right up. I'm gonna go to the other side, do the same thing. Alright, I'm gonna go over here and just pull right up. Flip this bad boy around. Now, I don't know what you can see or what you can't see. There you go, you can see 1, 2. Let's zoom out. Let's get this going over here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have 7 and 8 on the end. So basically, if you stick your hand down here and pull, it comes right up. All right, guys, before we do anything, I'm going to show you how to take off this side cell. I'm not going to go crazy with the camera only because this is an easy thing to do. So we're just going to pop up here. That comes up, and then it should be straight up, right? Yep. Jesus, I specialize in German cars. Taking this thing apart is like a 3-year-old playing with Legos. What I'm saying is it just comes off a lot easier. All right, so this is, for you guys that are a little lost right now, this is the passenger side rear seat, and this is the subwoofer panel. I just figured, since I'm already here, it's easier to show you this. right, so all right, so here we are. So this panel's gonna come out now. Now this is where we find out what I'm made of. I got a rule: never videotape the first time you do something. We're breaking that rule today. Usually it doesn't go well. Let's see how this one goes. All right, so this panel has to pop out. We're gonna go back here and just, actually, you know what? I'm gonna use that. This is a scraper tool. I'll use it to pry because it's the thin edge. All right, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. If it makes you feel any better, your car is brand new. Guess what that means? That means that you can still buy parts brand new at the dealership. Imagine working on a 30-year-old car that whatever you break is irreplaceable. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to put them in. All right, now we're gonna start over here. 12-volt light. I don't know if this is factory or aftermarket. I think he may have updated the light. All right, so that's one clip. See, this is exactly why when Tom asked me if we can do his car again, I said nope, because you never know what's going to happen when you take apart a car. Like, a lot of these people on YouTube show you how to do things and like, look how perfect everything is. That clip just broke from me pulling on it. So that's very common in cars, where if you pull on the clip breaks. So let's see what happens when we keep pulling. So I'm gonna start at the top corner over here. Actually, if you look at here, oh no, looky here. All right, up here, can you see that? Yep. So there's a little piece that goes around. All you gotta do is pry upward from the back, and then use PPT, the skinny one, to pry from the front. There you go. And then it gets stuck in there. That's weird. Alright, you guys find the thin spot and get it out. Or actually, if you want to, just leave it there. What's going on here? Oh, you know what? There's a lot of... I see what's up. Give me a second. This is where you see most people stop the video and then come back. Voila! No. So what happens is that you kind of got to squeeze it through. All right. That goes there. Yeah, unfortunately what happens is, see this thing? This thing I think got put on afterwards, so you got to squeeze it past that. All right, so now we're going to pull. I can feel there's one over here. All right. I can feel there's one over here. All right, there's one here, and one here. You know what? Let me put tape so you guys can visually see this. It's a great idea. This is to visually help you see where they are. Got one there. One right there. Oopsie. And one down here. All right, now this over here is probably going to lift up. They usually go like that. This is usually not a popper. See here, it lifts up. So now we had this popper over here, and this popper was the one that cracked. Well, it sounded like it cracked. I heard something. All right. Now there's another one. There's something back here. There you go. Second one was right over here in this corner. All right. Now while you're back here, there's a little sensor back here you gotta unplug. Locking tab faces the outside of the car, and then you just pull down. So that sensor is right here. So there's a sensor right here. And then over here, to be honest with you, if it's easier, is it? Let's find out. usually is easier. Yep. Push out the light. So the light has a locking tab. All right. Push that in. Push it out. This goes in here. This goes in here. So, but when you go back, make sure you remember that the cable's hanging. Okay. And then the cigarette lighter is always going to have a lock-on tab on it. In this car, I think they're all going to be the same. So the locking tab is kind of facing this way. So I'm going to push down with this. Sorry guys, I'm not going in. Well, that's not working. Okay. So at this point we're there. Now there's a locking tab right here. I can see it visually along with a guide pin. What I mean by that is a little round thing over there. So right here, just going to pull on that with two hands right here. There it goes. Another one right there. So at this point I'm old and the back of my knees hurt. But it's not a bad idea to... There you go. These things are making a lot of noise. I'm about to figure out why. I may have to take a trip to the Ford dealer. Yeah, these things are. So the clips are falling apart. I'll get the part number and I'll let you guys know. Luckily there's a Ford dealership down the block. Hopefully they have them in stock and drive over right now. So now we're good. Now we're gonna open that door. Pop this bad boy back out. Alright, so we're gonna pull over here. And pull over here. Oh. 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 I see. I see what happens. The way these clips are designed is not the way they work. So the clips are designed where they have like a little thing that grabs onto it. So what's happening is they're not grabbing on. What they're doing is that they're actually releasing. I'll do a quick video on it before later. See how many people on YouTube tell you they break clips. There's a little push tab right here and right here. Those are nothing. All right. There is a locking tab back here, and looks like there was supposed to be one here, but there's not. And then it's semi. I think we're good. That's it, right? That's it. All right, looks like it's caught up with the plastic down below where the wiring is. That should be easy to figure out. All right, so now I'm gonna unplug this cigarette lighter thing. Yep, the plug was exactly where I said. It's just gotta push down. It just was hard to get. There you go. That unhooked all by itself, as you saw. And voila, let's lay her down. Alright, so back here is the one that I told you about. See the hooks? And then we got the 1, 2, 3 we marked. We got the invisible. Oh, you can't see it. Let me adjust the camera. We got the 3 over here. 1, 2, 3. We got this one that said went down. This one and this one that went in there. Cigarette lighter, we got the light coming out of here. See, this is the exploding one, which I find is weird. I guess I'm wrong. No, this one clips into here and kind of go. So I guess when you push in, it grabs. That one's also a grabber. See, these two are the little easy ones that I told you about. What else do we got? Oh, you know what? On the on that side over there, these two lift up. I don't know if you can see this, but these two, so you just gotta lift up. I got lucky because when I pulled, they came up with it, so no damage. Do you have to take off the bottom? I'm not 100% sure. I know I can sneak this thing out, and by doing that, I'm almost positive I could have snuck that thing out without taking out the floor. check out the website. If I figure out that I can do this without taking out the floor, because now that I know how it comes out, it's easy peasy. Now let me go figure out which one of these clips. Actually, I could do it right now. See, this one broke. We got one broken. We got two broken. Two broken. The two top ones broke. I don't see these breaking. These look pretty heavy duty. These over here grab on tighter. So if I was you, before I start this job, buy 1, 2, 3 clips. And if you think you might forget something, buy 6 in case you got to take it out twice. These, I'm not sure. I don't think that's broken. I think that's meant to go in there, and that's why. Yeah. So these, see how this has this big guide? That's meant to be there. All right. Also, time to plug. So check out our website. We're gonna have a kit for sale that is going to have a subwoofer and an amplifier and our plug and play harness for sale. We're starting off the one setup, and we're actually looking to see if we can do a cheaper setup, because some people just want bare minimum. You know, not everybody wants the best. What we're doing today is using an amplifier that can do 500, but the way we're using it is only doing 125 by 1. I'm mentioning that now because I don't want anybody doing something and then blaming me because something goes wrong. So the amp that we're using, these power wires back here in the amp are perfect. Well, I'll show you in a second. They're perfect for if you're only using 125 watts. If you start using 250 or 500, that's not enough. But all right, let me call the dealership, find out if they have those clips in stock, and we'll come back and keep doing the install. All right, guys, so good news is I did find the clips. I'm gonna have them delivered, aftermarket ones tomorrow, and then next week we have the factory ones coming. But I have a feeling they're gonna do the same thing, because usually factory and aftermarket ones are pretty close. I use the Volkswagen and Audi aftermarket ones all the time because clips just break. So when you buy the radio package from me with the amplifier and the sub, I'll include 3 clips or whatever, however amount of clips. Just read the website. If you guys are interested in this, go on the website. You can sign up right now for notifications to let you know when it's going to be available. I'm not sure how many of these are going to sell. The expectation is we're going to sell millions, but you know, for some reason, every time I'm going to sell, I think I'm going to sell a lot of it, nothing sells. When I think I'm not going to sell a lot of it, tons of them sell. It's just the way life works. So check the website. I don't think we're doing pre-orders. We're just going to do notifications, because pre-orders get you in trouble. All right, so this speaker is held in, well, this fake speaker. So for you guys that don't know, this has an X in it. You can barely see it, but there's a red X on it. This is fake. I'll link my new, I've never done this before, right there. I'll put my my original video that I used to as bait to get this car to come in. Angelo saw this video and he was, wow, you're local, I'm coming over. But yeah, I took it apart. I'll show you. Well, I don't know if I showed you the magnet, but I showed you the inside of the amplifier. I have a factory amplifier with chips, and I have one without chips. So go check out that video, and then if you guys get lost at the end of that video, I'll take you back to this one. Okay, so 4 screws T20 Torx. All right. Oh, look at that. Put that on max. All right, this is a cool little screwdriver. Also angles right. I like it. If you do buy it, make sure you get the current version that has a clutch, because if you don't get the clutch, let me tell you something. I had to take a week off of work because this thing ruined my wrists. Right now, some lawyer somewhere just licked his lips. I'm like, we can sue. Actually, let's leave that one on. Let's take this one off. See, what I like about this is that it's weak, so it doesn't, it's very hard for you to break something. All right. I also covered this up with a shipping, whatever you, I forgot what these are called. Shipping cloth, shipping towel, whatever. Moving towel. Only because since this is metal and this is metal, you don't want it to fall. Now I'm gonna unplug the woofer. You could have done that at the beginning. I decided to wait. I have no reasoning for that. Now we're gonna unplug here. Now the speaker has a trim ring. You're going to want to keep this trim ring, because this trim ring, what it does is that it holds the woofer up to the panel, and it keeps it from rattling, number one, and number two, it makes the bass come out nice and smooth. So you guys ready for the unveiling? Ta-da! So for you guys that don't know what a woofer looks like, let me go get the woofer we're going to do and I'll show you what's wrong here. Alright, so the way a speaker works is that it has a coil, you feed electricity through it, and the electricity, the magnet moves with the coil and it makes this move, and that's how a speaker is made. This has no magnet. This is a fake speaker, it has nothing in it. They ran out of chips at the factory because of the chip shortage, and I guess they couldn't make amplifiers, which totally understand why you would ship this, because honestly, I mean, logic tells me that we'll ship it like this, and then since this heatsink weighs a lot, we can just ship the circuit boards. We can have people unscrew this, and then we can just slide the circuit board in. That makes a lot of sense because you save on shipping because this is heavy. Now, why they would install this makes no sense at all. All right, so now I'm going to unplug the other side of the amp. If I remember correctly, yep, these are Phillips bits, which doesn't make sense either. Why would you switch it up? Sorry about that, my OCD was trying to find a matching Phillips bit. So we're going to do the ones over here first because they're that far. Alright, yes, my big head's in the way. You don't need to see how to take out 4 screws. If me head hinders you from taking out 4 screws, step away from the vehicle right now. Alright, so we're going to hold this down here. Alright, and voila, that's how it comes off. Alright, so now this is the amp. Like I said, go watch the video. I'll pop it over here again next time. Again, I mean right now, whatever the hell I'm saying. I'll pop it over here so you can, if you want to go see that video. Basically, I'm opening this amp and I'll show you the difference between the with this one with no chips on it and the other one. And then here you look at this. I don't have a factory, so I'll just show you what it's supposed to look like, but you just saw. All right, let me go. Not 100% sure what I'm doing right now. The problem is I've looked into getting a piece of plastic to mount this on, to mount the new amplifier onto, because it's a different size. But the question is, how many of you guys are going to pay an extra $25 for a piece of plastic when you can just cut a piece of wood? Not 100% sure. So let me see what I'm going to do and I'll be right back. All right, so I decided to make a custom 3D printed mount for the amplifier in the back. So while we do that, I decided to show you how to program for Ford scan, sorry. I was calling it Forcan for the longest time. So as you guys can tell, I have all the software. This is the Ford, this is the Volkswagen, Audi, Porsche, this is Chrysler, this is Porsche only. I got a Mercedes computer in the back. I got all types of stuff. I just went to do a little testing because I don't want to, look like a rookie when I was making the video. And it turns out I got a trial run for 2 months of the Ford scan, and I have to subscribe. So the way this works is we're going to open up, download the program, go to the website. I'm going to go to the website. Oops. Open it. And then Scan for Windows, you download that, boom. Where am I? Alright, so we're going to go over here. This is a quick warning when you open the program telling you not to use the computer while driving, which is probably good advice. Sorry guys, we're right next to the airport, and it's a Friday night, and I guess all the rich people are flying out. Is that a helicopter? That was a helicopter. So hit OK. Alright, now you're going to go over here to the little steering wheel. Click About. Now over here you see it has a standard license. What standard license means, you can, I think you can poke around and read, but you can't do anything. So I am going to copy this code to the clipboard. All right. And then now we're going to, can we do it this way? No, we can't do it that way. All right, so we're going to go on their website and we're going to pay them, only because I am a business and I am using their program. So trust me, there's probably ways where I can use a different email address or whatever. There's probably ways to get around it, but I'm going to buy the 1-year extended license. And then we're going to go. All right, so looks like the order has gone through for a total of $12.80. Now I get to wait a half hour for the code to come through via email. And once I get it, I will come back and I'll show you what's going on. All right, so I'm back. So I paid the $12. That email came right away. I think they make you wait a half hour for the free trial. So if you're impatient, throw it away. $12. So the people who buy the ones with the switch are the same ones who are going to wait a half hour. I'm not making fun of you because I bought the one for the switch first too. The only reason I have the other one is because I needed it for, well, I thought I needed it for the RAM. All right, so we're going to load the license key. I guess not. Enter activation code. Is that what we're doing? Yep, so you're going to enter the code. It's probably easier to copy and paste this. I do not have, like I said, this is a laptop I use just for coding pretty much. So to load all my emails in here would take forever. Now, you guys really thought I was going to show you the whole thing? Come on now. All right, let's make sure that's right. Yep. Yep. All right, so that's it. So now we're back at Forescan. So I'm going to turn on the key. So the radio lights up, all the dummy lights on the dashboard light up, but do not start the car. Now it's going to warn me again. Hey, you don't use the computer while driving. We're going to hit OK. All right, now we're going to go into the car. There's no profiles loaded, right? Yep. All right, so this is from scratch, which is great for you guys who have no idea what you're doing. I'm going to go over here. So this is what it shows when you have a good license key. It says uninstall license key. And just trying to figure out. All right, we're going to go to the car one. And we're going to hit connect and just wait. See down here it says vehicle not connected. And what does that say? Please make sure the following conditions are met. Key is in the on position. So some of the cheaper devices, like I said, have a switch. I started with that device, but now I have them without a switch. So I don't have to worry about that. It's worth getting it. So moving. The adapter is not maximized for maximum performance. Like, that's fine. So it's telling me, do I want to adjust the baud rate? So we adjusted the baud rate. So right now it's communicating with the car. You can see over here the 11.9 is the voltage, and then vehicle, and then receiving vehicle info. All right. So now what it's doing is scanning the car to see what computers it has, and it's making a list of all the computers it has. And there's the one we're looking for, the audio control module. Okay. Now it's gonna, would you like to save the profile for this vehicle? Just click yes. You can rename it, I think, if you want to, but no need to do all that crazy stuff. All right, so now the car's loaded. We're gonna click on the little microchip over here, and then we're gonna go down for audio control module. Boom. ACM. Now I'm gonna hit play. Changing configuration is potentially not safe. Okay. Boom. So basically it's telling you can mess things up really bad. This is where I recommend you take a picture with your cell phone. Boop. Have all these numbers. Scroll down. Take a second picture right there, and then take a third picture. I'm recording the screen, so I don't need to. Okay. Now, all of these numbers do something different to change what you're doing. So each digit, each number, each letter has something different to do with the setup. So for example, this car, this little 4 right here, that controls the output of the audio control module for the rear speakers and the sub. All right, so right now it is set to 4. If you want, since we're keeping the factory rear tweeters, we're going to set it to 6. Now, I have to do a little more research, but I think if you change it from a 4 to a letter A, that's what you have to change it to when you upgrade to the... So in this car, eventually we're going to do the 6-inch speakers in the back, where the 4 inches are right now. So I'm not messing with anything. I'm just kind of letting you know what it does. You can also change the front speakers. If you upgrade your speakers, you can change the EQ. So audio comes out of the radio EQ'd to protect the speakers from blowing up. If you upgrade your whole system, you want to retune it to come out flat, so that way you can get the best sound possible. But we are probably going to do that if we replace all the speakers. But for now, we're going to change this 4 to a 6. Just remember, look at the ones in front of it. So 14 F1, 16 F1, right? Yep. So we'll change that from tweeter to tweeter and sub, and just click on right. Incorrect sound on Ada. Continue anyway. Yes. All right, and we're good. Wasn't paying attention, but sometimes this over here changes too. I don't know if it changed or not. All right, so we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna hit stop. All right, and then we're gonna go hit play again. All right, so the reason we did that is to make sure that it's still at the 6 we set. So we're confirming that the change we did took place. So we went from 1.4 over here to 1.6, so we're good. So we're gonna hit stop. And now we're gonna hit stop. I think that's it. We hit stop, and then I think that's it. We just gotta close out. All right, that's it. So just make sure you hit stop, because stop disconnects from the module. It's very rare to happen. But if you just disconnect your USB, there is a chance you can fry a module. It's kind of like unplugging things with the power on. It's always never a good idea. But that's it. That's it. We've done it. We've configured the module, and it was that easy. And luckily for you guys, my subscription was up, so I had to pay, so I can show you exactly how to do it step by step. All right, let me go check on that 3D print, and it's already late. So I think today, I got a full day tomorrow, so I think I'm going to check this print, and I am going to go home, get some rest, and then come back tomorrow. It's Friday night, so I usually get out of here at 3 so I can go have some dinner, and Friday is my night, but it didn't happen today. Let's go check out that print. All right, so I'm going home for the night, but did a little progress. So here's the first rendition of the mounting bracket. The bolt holders in the back came out perfect. So basically what's going to happen, boom, I forgot to put the hole through the through holes, but it's a whole different story. All right, guys, here we are. So we skipped a day. I didn't record anything on Saturday because one thing led to another. I did one job, did another job, a couple of test brackets, and here we go. So it's Sunday morning now, and these are my initial brackets. If you look at these, you see how they bow in the middle, which means I got to make them bigger so they go all the way out to here on both ends. Also, these were designed to hold the screw. Oops. Oh. Well, they're designed to do this, which is great. But the problem is, when I tightened up the screw last night, I didn't even... With this little thing, it went straight through. So what happens is, between the weight of the amplifier, it just fell through. So I have some nylon or carbon fiber reinforced filament that I'm going to try right now, and hopefully it works out. So let's modify these, make them bigger, and try the new filament. Alright guys, so today we're doing a 6 3/4 inch kicker, dual voice coil subwoofer into the factory location. Now this is a dual voice coil, which means it can play at different resistances. This is a dual 2 ohm resistance speaker, which means that it's 2 ohm and 2 ohm. So we're going to wire it to play 4 ohms. At 4 ohms, this amplifier is kicking out 125 watts, which means it'll play forever. It will never overheat. If you wanted to, you could wire it to play at 1 ohm, which will play all 500 watts and will probably blow up the speakers. It's too much. But at that point, you know, you're pushing the amplifier towards its max capacity, and you're probably going to overheat it if you play too long. And on top of that, the power wires coming out of the factory wiring, I would not recommend using them for this application. There's just I don't think it's going to be thick enough. So if you do decide you want to be a maniac and run this one at 1 ohm, please run a separate power wire directly to the fuse box, because that's not what this is for. Okay, so let me show you how to wire it up real quick. I'm going to send you out a kit, and the kit's going to have red and white, red and black, so you don't make any mistakes. So you're going to grab a red one, you go straight to the red. Let's put it over here, make it easier for you to watch. Push pin. All right, make sure it goes in here. You can see that. All right, inside. Boom. Now on the opposite side is the black one. Make sure you don't wire it wrong, because if you wire it wrong, so if you go this red, like red, and then just do a cross, you can blow up the sub or the overheat the amplifier. All right, so right there we have black to black, and on the opposite side, red to red. Now there's going to be an extra wire left over that's going to come with the kit. I'll probably have it cut for you. If I don't, I'm just going to strip it down. So that one goes across the opposite positive and negative. All right, so that goes here, and then the other one goes right across. Give it a little slack. All right. I'm going to go over here and bam. All right, so now if you were going to grab a meter and go onto here, this would show 4 ohms, which is what we want, which is going to cause the perfect sound for, you know, a light upgrade on this system. So let's go get the parts and put the speaker in the factory location. All right, now so when you go put the subwoofer in the factory location, it's not going to go in right. So we're going to push, and it's going to just not go in. So what you got to do, this little nipple right here, I guess it's made to line up the factory. Just cut it off, and once you cut it off, it slides right in. Okay, we're good. All right guys, so now it's time to put the sub in. Sub doesn't come with screws, so we're going to supply you with some screws. Now the opening here is perfect for this sub. So if you look at the back of this, first of all, since you've been working, make sure there's no screw stuck to it, because this is a big magnet. So what happens a lot of times when you're working on stuff, a magnet attracts a screw, and you're putting in the screw, and now it's bouncing around inside the box, which is going to be annoying. All right, now if you look over here, there's a canal for the wire. Make sure you are aware of that. All right, and if you guys have just started watching, make sure you disconnect the fuse up front, because I know a lot of you guys like skipping. Now the back of this speaker, let me show you, has a foam padding. So when you put it all the way in, it looks like it's spaced out because of the foam padding. All right, that's that. So as much as I want it to be perfectly straight, you get in the way of the kicker right there. All right, so there's the Phillips head. All right, so for these, this is a very soft plastic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the screw in just a little bit. Well, that grows to prove my point. All right, so finish it by hand is what I'm trying to say. All right, so you saw that go in. So what's going to happen is that if you go in all the way, you're going to end up stripping the plastic. So you want to go in a little bit. So I've been doing this 25 years. I have pretty good self-control. Another thing, be careful with the woofer. Holes in woofers are not covered under warranty, just an FYI. And it's funny because about 3-4 years ago I was doing a car. Customer like, you don't worry about putting holes in speakers. Like, nah, that never happens. That customer's the one to put a hole in the speaker. All right. So now I'm gonna go back by hand and manually tighten each one of them, just snug enough. To be honest, I think they're pretty much good. But I'm gonna go get a screwdriver and be right back. All right. So come with the screwdriver. To be honest with you, you're going in. As soon as you feel it get a little snug, that's it, you're done. You can tell this is soft plastic. It's almost like, yes, there's nothing you can do. So be very, very careful because it does not like going into. And last but not least, do not forget this thing. This thing has a line over here to tell you where it's got to go, because it only goes one way. Forget where the line goes. It's not that way. There you go. That's it. Yep. So the line goes. The line goes towards the speaker wire. Same thing with this one. Be careful putting it back in. This one, the holes have already been made, so it's a little easier. I don't know, I gotta figure out the science behind that. Why is it that when the holes are already there, there's got to be a reason behind that one. So this is important because if you don't put this on, it bounces against the panel. If it bounces against the panel, it's going to make rattling noises you're not going to like. Alright. Like I said, this is a screw and this also is a dead battery. See, only one. So this might actually be screwing perfectly because it is a dead battery. Alright, let's give it a little wiggle. Make sure it's not making movement. That's it, subwoofer mounted. Let's go get the amplifier. Alright guys, so here we are. This is the fuse box under the hood. Now, I want you to take out the power for the amplifier, just in case you mess something up. Better to be safe than sorry, alright? Alright, so after a whole day of making brackets, we're finally done. Alright. So the back brackets, oops, started over here with me forgetting to make the second hole. Then we advance, well, that's the front. Then we advance to a back bracket that looked like that. And then we ended up with a 7 or 8 revisions later, a back bracket that looks like this. This is also my first day ever using carbon fiber infused filament. It's much stronger than the other stuff I was using. What happened was the first time I did this, when I screwed this in, the bolt. So there's a metal bolt back here. When I screwed it in, I screwed it a little bit too tight. To be honest with you, I didn't even do much, and it came right through. So I was like, uh-oh, time to break the reinforced filament. Forgot why I bought it for. So I want you guys to do what I'm about to do by hand. Don't use any power tools, because none of us want headaches. All right, so we're gonna line this up here. If you see, it says back. This may not be the final revision you get. This is my first install using these brackets. They were designed today, so I may decide I make them better, but they're all going to do the same thing. 2 screws hold the bracket to the factory holes. Oops, make sure you make it in the hole. I was about to say an inappropriate joke. All right, so then the next one is going to go in the bottom hole. All right. It's high school all over again. All right, so go in there. All right, so just give it tugs. Once it stops moving, you're good to go. The top is already good. Just a little snug. If you make it too tight, this is going to bow in. It's already bowed in here. I'm not sure if there's any way I can prevent the bowing, because the only way to prevent the bowing is to make support here, and I think we can live with the bowing, but for now that's how we're getting it. That's how you're getting it. On the other side, we have this bracket. It says front, so front means front of the car. Whoa. Sorry guys, I'm out of shape, and you know when you lean in a car and the back of your knees start hurting? That's where I'm at right now. Some of you guys are gonna laugh when you're leaning in the car doing this, and you're gonna have the same pain. You're gonna think about me. Unless you're 20. If you're 20, you're not gonna remember this. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, so here we go. Boom and boom. All right, let's go get the amplifier and make this happen. All right guys, so here we are. Today we're using the Kicker Key 500.1. Check the website, see what we're doing. This is the amp that we just are using now. Something new may come out, something smaller, something better, something cheaper. I have no idea. But for this, this is what we're doing right now. So just do one corner at a time by hand. Again, do not use power tools for this. All right, so you're gonna put the screw in there. You're gonna line it up with the little screw. Get a couple teeth in, let it wiggle because it gives you room. Wiggle, 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 and then put the other side in. All right, very important. Remember to remove the fuse, because some of you guys are going to cross wires, and if you end up crossing wires, because we're not shipping you the amplifier with this connected. We did this in-house, so I don't want you guys. Is that dark over there? It's a little dark, isn't it? No, you're fine. So I don't want you guys crossing wires and frying something. So if you feel better, disconnect the battery. I recommend just disconnecting that one fuse. You should be fine. All right, let's go around the other side. All right, so now visually, make sure you can see the screw. There it goes. Oh, so that may happen. So what ended up happening right now is the little bolt fell out, which isn't going to happen to you, because now that that happened to me, they're going to be glued in. This is why I told you, yours may be different than what we get, what you're seeing in the video right now, because things like that happen. This was pushed in pretty hard. I'm shocked that it fell out, so which means that we have to glue them in. That's all. All right, let me. Oh, there we go. So what happens is that this is all the way to the right. Yep, it's all the way to the right. And that's what happened there. Because it's all the way to the right, it was a little hard to get to. Also, this amplifier is made out of plastic. So, if you're not worried about breaking my delicate little plastic mounts, like I said, it's reinforced carbon fiber, it should be fine. Be very afraid of breaking the amplifier because, oh, popped out the back. That's weird. The bracket needs to be probably a millimeter wider. Yeah, probably 1 millimeter to 0.375. But guess what? Oh, I might have to go up a little bit too. But we're making it work today. Alright, there it is. So, made it work. But it definitely needs some tweaking before it gets public sale. Because the holes are not lined up 100% perfect. They should be lined up 100% perfect before they get to you. Fortunately, this is it for this Bronco. I do not have the, I could call the customer back and say, hey, I need an extra day. He would definitely be okay with it, but I think we're pretty good. Alright, as you guys see, that's solid. That's not going anywhere. Okay. Alright guys, now we're going to cover some wiring. This is the input from the factory signal. So what we're going to do here is we're going to plug this in here. This harness comes with the amplifier. I'm not sure what I'm doing, to be honest with you. I probably think that you're probably going to get something like this going directly into that harness with a little bit longer cable. But because I don't want to mail things out, I don't want to open the amp at all. So I want to send you a brand new amp. We're going to do this with RCAs today, because this is probably going to come down to whichever's cheaper, an RCA or the 4-pin connector. All right, and then now we have the speakers over here. All right, now I'm probably going to include a little 4-pin. This is a sticky. I don't know what these are called. Just I would stick it to the top of the amp like so. And always the cables, rest them high, don't rest them low, because if you rest them low, they're hanging. If you rest them high, they're resting on it, and less stress on the connections. Okay, now we're over here. Now let's go over here and plug in the amp. All right, so now we're over here, and this is it. Factory connector. This is our connector. This is going to be prettier. So I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to zoom in on this picture. All right. If your amplifier harness has anything, this is very important. Anything other than these wires, do not use our harness and contact us immediately. Some of these wires may be touching the pin next to it, and it's designed for this one. Now we're talking about the 2023 Bronco sub upgrade harness, because eventually there's a car gonna figure out, someone's gonna figure out this works with the other car, and it's gonna have a pin next to it. So you know, like example, some of these wires, the pins may be touching inside because there's nothing on the other side. So mindful of that. All right, that plugs right in. Now over here, make sure you tape these if we send you RCAs. To be honest with you, you're probably never going to see RCAs. I'm probably going to go straight out of here into the 4-pin connector. But eventually, who knows, maybe I may sell this by itself and use RCAs. Either way, and don't be a slob, cut this slack. And then as far as this wire, I would recommend leaving a little extra. So obviously I've been doing this a long time, so I know how to cut wires. So these are cutters, and I can strip with cutters because I've been doing it a while. You know, if you're at home, use wire strippers. Okay. And I don't have the Allen key. The amplifier comes with its own Allen key for these, so let me go get that and I'll be right back. All right, left it inside. Yep, because the amp was wired inside. All right, so here we are. So I don't know if you can see because it's a little dark. See the Allen keys in there? All right, so the Allen keys. You put the Allen. What did I just say? You can see the little bolts inside of there. You gotta unscrew it. One is positive, one is negative. It's important you get that right, sorta. The reason I say sorta, sometimes in some cars, if you reverse a subwoofer, it sounds better. I'm gonna say that's not the case on this one, but if you guys want to go crazy, go right ahead. Now put this in. Make sure that when you push it down and tighten it, so I'm tightening it right now, make sure it grabs, so I'm giving a little tug, and also make sure it comes down on the copper, not the rubber, because if it's touching rubber, depending on how deep you went, it may or may not do something. Yes, I'm still talking about the amplifier. All right. And voila. That's it. Congratulations. You just installed an amplifier in a Bronco. All right, we're done, right? Yeah, that's it. I don't know what this... Oh, I know what these... I think this is one of those wires that they have all over the car that you can use to turn things on. I've heard about this in these. Oh, I completely forgot. So we also ran a bass knob. Bass knob, I'm going to show you up front where it goes, and plugs right in. Leave it a little slack, and then I'm going to cut this and then join them with those two. Okay. Beautiful bass knob spot I found. Alright, so we just turned it on, everything's working fine, but we got a little bit of a problem. So remember the metal screws back here? Something here is creating just enough vibration where you hear metal. So I'm going to take off the amp and see what I can figure out. Alright, so what I think is causing all the noise issues, see, hear this? This is a very thin plastic that when the bass is, I think is resonating. So what I'm going to do, this is a really, really thin piece of road sound deadener. I'm just going to stick it to the back. So, more things we got to add to the kit now. Get that nice and quiet. Now, when it comes to sound deadener, you can do the whole trunk in sound deadener if you want. It just depends on what you want out of your car. Just like I said, infill for subwoofers, that's also something where you can play with if you want. I think this sounds fine. But this is necessary. As well, we'll see, because when I put it back, we still have noise and we got to figure out something else. But I'm pretty sure that was going to be it. And if you want to do the whole trunk, you can do the whole trunk. Check with us. I know that we are working on doing some pre-cut kits for certain cars, so we may or may not have them. Check the website for details. Let me plug this back in and see what happens.